Week 12 waiver wire. And at the end, we'll talk about Daniel Jones getting benched for tummy cutlets. Let's get it started. Do you have questions at quarterback? Don't worry, I got you. I must sound like a broken record, but Bo Nix, why is he only 54% rostered? He's been a top 3 quarterback 2 out of the last 4 weeks. Pick this man up. Anthony Richardson's been dropped in a lot of leagues. You can check to see if he's out there. Don't love it, but I do think that he always has some upside with his legs and the deep ball. Matthew Stafford popped off last week with 4 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to have as great a game against the Philadelphia Eagles. That defense has actually been pretty serious. But I think they're going to force them to score if they want to keep up. Stafford could be all right. Also, see if Herbert's out there. He's been pretty solid. He'll finish in the top 12. Not in the top half, but still in the top 12. Are you having a rough time at running back? Don't worry, I got you. The running back position at the moment is a blessing and a curse. A blessing in the sense that there's not a bunch of great running backs on the waiver wire because running backs aren't really getting injured too often. Most of the time, what brings a hot waiver wire ad for a running back is an injury. And we haven't really been getting a lot of those, which is a really good thing. But it also makes the running back waiver wires really thin and a bunch of backups every week. So I'm sorry about the backups that I keep giving you, but I mean, ain't nobody really hot out there. And the last hot one was Audric Estime, and everybody spent their waiver priority on that man, and then he ended up doing nothing. This man had 6 carries for 16 yards. Now, he did catch 3 passes, but that's not what you grabbed him for. So before you get mad at me, just know it's really just a bunch of backups and a couple people that are heavily rostered. Let's fly through that. Jaylen Warren is heavily rostered in 61% of leagues, but there are leagues where he's out there. I think that he's a solid grab if you need a fill-in. He's going to get you 10 to 13 touches per game. He does get involved in the passing game as well. Ooh, I got a new name. Jonathan Brooks. Coming back off the ACL, he should be playing soon. He's rostered in a decent amount of leagues, almost 60%, but that means he might be available in some of your leagues. If you're in a competitive league, probably not. Honestly, I don't really think he's going to be viable until the playoffs, if that. I always get super concerned about running backs coming off of ACLs, but worth a stash. And then we have the laundry list of handcuffs. If you roster the starters of any one of these handcuffs, grab your handcuff first. Just secure your backfield. Playoffs almost here. Braylon Allen, Ray Davis, Trey Benson, Roshan Johnson, Audric Estime, Cam Akers, Gus Edwards, Tajay Spears, and Tank Bigsby. Moving on to the wide receivers. We do have some solid names here. The Dallas Cowboys absolutely suck. I'm watching the game right here. Just seeing a nice little fumble 6. Awesome. Just go down, linemen. You're not used to carrying a ball. Just go down. Man, y'all suck. That's what I get for believing in you Cowboys to cover a 7.5 point spread. Ugh. I'm just so disappointed. That should have just grab the ball and go to the ground. Ugh. Are you weak at wide receiver? Don't worry, I got you. Jerry Jeudy? What a year we are having that Jerry Jeudy is being mentioned at all for me. But that's going to happen when you have back-to-back games with 11 targets. That's a lot of targets. And Jameis is going to sling it. So I don't necessarily think that's going to stop anytime soon. Same can be said about Elijah Moore. Jameis Winston is slinging it. And Moore's had 8 or more targets in 3 straight games. I think you could play him. Shout out to that dude that said he was going to score a touchdown this week. Mad props. Oh, I found the name. Joshua Carrero, 7531. Great call out on Elijah Moore last week. I figured I should shout you out. Quentin Johnson keeps getting it done. 3 straight games with a touchdown. Had 8 targets last week. You love to see it. Only caught 2 of them. Got to work on that. But 3 straight weeks with a touchdown. Mazel tov. You should play him. Speaking of an outrageous amount of touchdowns, Nick Westbrook-Akine has scored a touchdown in 5 of the last 6 weeks. Are you kidding me? Wild. Definitely worth the grab. Next, Christian Watson had 150 yards. That's a lot of yards on 4 receptions. Not consistent. He's a solid flyer, just like the rest of these guys I'm about to list. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he did it again. Worth a grab. Adam Thielen should be coming back. He could be a solid grab for a PPR play. Rashad Bateman's a decent flyer. And I don't know if I'm playing Wan'Dale Robinson, but I might grab him to see if Tommy Cutlets brings a new spark. Moving on to the tight ends. Are you having a tough time at tight end? Don't worry, I got you. Taysom Hill. I'm always trying to tell people, he is a lottery ticket. Sometimes He might not be good, but sometimes he might win you your week, like scoring 43 points. I mean, had 3 touchdowns, rushed for over 130 yards, and got some done in the air. Easily number 1 tight end on the week. I mean, he might be the number 1 player on the week. Taysom Hill, with Chris Olave out, and this offense being up in the air, Taysom Hill might be one of the best tight ends. Or he could go back to being Taysom Hill and not being used very much. Either way, he should be on your roster. I could not tell you why Jonnu Smith is being used as much as he is and Jalen Waddle isn't, but he is. 8 targets, 6 receptions, over 100 yards, and 2 of them things. Them things are touchdowns. 2 of them things. This man has basically made Jalen Waddle irrelevant. Along with Devon Achane catching all those dump-offs, Waddle is almost useless at this point. But Jonnu Smith's not. If you need a tight end, you should start him. Will Disley, great game. Back-to-back games with 6 targets. Got into the end zone on this one. Love to see it. I'm also digging Zach Ertz. He's had 7 or more targets 3 of the last 4 games. Got into the end zone on this one. Definitely think you can fire him up. And you can always use Hunter Henry. He's going to get the targets. He had 9 last week. Love to see it. Moving on to the defenses. Are you desperate for a defense? Don't worry, I got you. This one's most likely not out there, but they just played the Bills, so it's worth a check. But the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Carolina Panthers, yes please. The Washington Commanders going up against the terrible Dallas Cowboys. I'm watching them right now, disgusted. Only rostered in 29% of leagues. Also watching this team right now as well. Houston Texans going up against the Tennessee Titans. Now they're mostly rostered, but worth a check. The Denver Broncos are somehow only rostered in 58% of leagues. If they're out there, please grab them. Going up against the Cleveland Browns, who do not scare you. And if everybody else is gone, I know they're going to be here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They get a beautiful stretch run coming up here soon. Giants, Panthers, Raiders. Their playoff schedule is looking good too. So, who did I miss? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's talk about this Daniel Jones situation. Jeffrey, read me the tweet.
Yes, sir. Per Adam Schefter, the New York Giants are expected to replace Daniel Jones with Tommy DeVito as their new starting quarterback.
This situation is rough for the New York Giants. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say they got themselves into this. First off, you paid the wrong player when you gave Daniel Jones that contract. Daniel Jones was not the reason you were in the playoffs, Giants. It was Saquon Barkley. And for you to not pay him, but then allow your divisional rival to pay him what he's owed is wild. Just straight bad business. Now look at you. Saquon Barkley's getting MVP type conversations, jumping over people backwards. Shout out to Get Up. They were talking about that earlier. Wild. Absolutely crazy. Man is jumping over people backwards, leading his team to glorious victories. How good would Saquon look on this team? With Neighbors on one side, Saquon in the backfield. And I get why they're starting Tommy DeVito. Honestly, the season's over. You're not looking at what you have in Tommy DeVito. He's going to play out the season. They're going to lose a bunch of games. And you're going to get a high pick. And you're going to select a quarterback. I originally thought it would be Drew Lock, but it does make sense to go with DeVito. I think Drew Lock could win you a couple games. Y'all ain't really trying to win a couple games. Y'all are trying to lose all the games. I have friends who are Giants fans, and this has been tough. As soon as he got paid, they were just like, what are we doing? And I thought the same thing. What are you doing? Do you really think that he was good? Everybody could see it. Not quite sure what y'all were thinking, but yikes. Well, from a man that just traded for him on his dynasty team like 6 weeks ago, I am stoked. He's been fantastic. Saquon Barkley, thank you. You're helping lead me to the playoffs and hopefully to a championship. I'll keep y'all updated. But yeah, guys, lots to talk to you about soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell down below. If you have any questions, hit me up. Good luck on the wire this week. I'll see you soon, Bay Nation. Peace.